Oh, I'm late. What's up, guys? It's Apple Channel. I'm just fixing a cup of coffee, getting myself geared up. How are we doing today? I've been worse. I woke up today with a cough, and I thought that I'd overslept because I slept so hard. I must have been fighting off a respiratory infection because I've been just hacking and wheezing and sneezing ever since. Why does it say my network is unstable? You're unstable. I have killer upload bandwidth. I'm on business class, baby. Now, I'll be right back. I gotta pour that cup of coffee. And by right back, I mean I'm walking away from the computer. Still got my headset on. You're coming with me. I think the coffee's ready. Alright, just need a travel sip and we'll be on our way. So yeah, hi. How's it going? Today, I'm gonna teach you something. Or rather, show you something. So it'll be less of a tutorial of sorts than just a demonstration. I got up today and I had an itch to mod. I said, why don't I pick up that project I was working on a week or two ago? And I'll just do that on stream. So I've already started. I got a proof of concept, and we're going to continue modding the Elder Scrolls. And I'll show you that it can be done without any coding knowledge whatsoever. Because the mod that I'm making, well, it's really a patch that takes two mods and combines them and integrates them in a way that makes immersive sense in the game. And I'll show you. Right now, my plans for this mod are not ambitious. Okay, I want to get out the minimum viable product, which is just this patch. And then for my other ideas to extend the mod further, I'll make a separate mod. Because once I dipped my toe into this, my wheels started turning, and I was like, oh, okay. There's so much more that I could do. So, I'm going to show you the OpenMW construction kit today. Yeah. When I was a young man, I purchased the Morrowind Game of the Year edition from the PX, which is to say a military exchange, sort of like a drugstore, but with tax-free goods, pretty sure. Yeah. Anyway, I got this game for an insane deal. It was like 3 discs, $20. Can't beat that. But what really blew my mind was that they included this Elder Scrolls construction set that allowed you to edit the game on your own computer, you know, with no additional purchase. If that came out today, I'm sure it would be an optional paid DLC. Thanks, Todd. No, really. Thanks, Todd. Because it allowed people to really extend the universe. There are people who have made mods that are like full-blown expansions. People who have made mods that completely change the game into a different game with a different story and different base mechanics. There's like a Star Wars version of Morrowind, which I want to play sometime, but not in the near future because I don't have the hard drive space. I've got so many mods, chat. This slapped the top of my Mac Mini. This bad boy can fit so many mods in it. But seriously, half of my hard drive is just dedicated to Morrowind mods. And you've seen the streams. It's pretty damn cool, the immersive qualities that have been added over the years that make it approach a modern game with that nostalgic feel still preserved. Anyway, I made my coffee a little different today because there wasn't any cream. So I put the sugar in the bottom and I put milk on top and I microwaved it for like a minute and a half while I was yapping with you. And so I basically made steamed milk and then poured the coffee on top of that. So far, it's all right. I also have at my side a Marie Callender's pot pie. Beef. That'll be my dinner tonight. Nothing fancy. You know. We're Let me go ahead and switch us over to the co-working or reacts, and we can kill this music. It's a little much there. 1 second here. Reacts. This one I want. Yeah. Okay. Let me just pin this tab. And how about that ASMR? Stop. Let's see. Firefox is not muted. Okay. We'll see. We'll see. Can you hear this, chat? By the way, I'm accepting applications for a moderator, someone to help me do sound checks and shit, and police the chatter, police the Discord, that sort of thing. So, if you're a fan of the show, then you're welcome to submit your application. I dropped a link on the Twitter to a Google document where you can apply. There will eventually be pay, but it is depending on us hitting growth milestones. So let's volunteer at first, as is typical with Twitch money. Why can't I hear anything? Okay. Let's just, oh, that looks cool. Back to Firefox. And, oh, I'm retarded. I muted the tab. Yeah, okay, let's go back. Sometimes it's my fault. Most of the time it's OBS's fault, but sometimes it's my fault. Speaking of which, if you're offended by my use of the word retard, I don't care. I'm gonna keep saying it. You can report me, or you can stop watching and just move on with your life. Part of the reason I'm streaming is so that I can find my genuine, authentic voice that has been suppressed for many, many years. And so I'm not interested in people who want me to walk on eggshells. We have a set of community guidelines up on the GitHub. That you are encouraged to review. Basically, we encourage pattern recognition, but not targeted harassment of any individual chatter or community member. We don't allow NSFW or gooning, self-promotion, except through the AMA Redeem. And we encourage respectful exchange of ideas, debates even. I'd like to talk about some really out there weird shit. You know, paranormal, magic, Gnosticism. I don't quite go as far as ancient aliens, but we're not far off. I listen to a lot of videos on ancient Sumer and tablet translations that have been rather insightful. Anyway, but that's not what this is about. That's one of the many channels in the Discord server I'm building, Das Hühnerhaus, which just means chicken coop in German. And the reason I borrowed this word is because of a cool ass chicken coop video that I saw like, a decade ago. It's still the coolest chicken coop that I've ever seen. It was actually in the newspapers for being like the coolest chicken coop in Germany. Possibly in Europe. Anyway, I'll show you that sometime, maybe. Or maybe I'll just share it in the community itself. So you have to go there when I generate an invite link as soon as I'm done configuring the channel permissions and interviewing moderators, because I want to have a moderator on day one. I don't want to moderate. That is not a good use of my time. Okay. I've got so many irons and fires already, plans, things that I need to make and build that are like a mile long. And moderation can be like a major time sink. So I'd rather leave that to people who are experienced and interested in doing that. Yeah. Anyway, why don't we get into modding? And I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. All right, I got a window. I'm gonna add it as a source. Open MWCS construction set. And it is a application capture on the primary display. And there it is. It's not detecting it. Oh, I chose the wrong display. Dumbass. There we go. Okay, so you can see that. I'm gonna bring my, no. Let's see. I'm gonna drag my model down just a bit. And give more room for you guys to see what I'm doing. Because there's a lot of different window tabs. Let me just turn this down a little bit. Okay. That's better. I can hear myself. I can hear myself think. Now, back to Morrowind. So, I've got this. Before we dig in, let me just review, make sure that there's not anything else I want to cover in the yapping portion. I put some stuff in the title. What did I say? When we talked about mod applications, oh yeah, panel reveal. In case you haven't seen, take a look at my about page. It's been updated. twitch.tv/abrachan/about. I got the new art, and let's just hide this for a second. Mute the tab. Check it out. Look at all this art. I got this done in a week. I found a kick-ass artist. This tip jar one is my favorite, I think. I just love the cute little pouting snake. That's perfect. This WoW one is pretty good too. Also, this About Me one reminds me of Major Armstrong in Full Metal Alchemist, which is one of my favorite animes. I know it's a little bit basic, but it is what it is. Full Metal Alchemist, that is, not the art. But yeah, looking mighty professional, if I don't say so myself. I took out some of the other distracting looking panels, and everything else got updated with one of these. So pretty damn cool. I might even calm this girl for 2 more, just to balance it out, so that I have 8 instead of 6 panels. But they're only like $20 per illustration, and if you get a bundle, it's even cheaper. Uh-oh, we're about to go full recursion here. Watch this shit. Anyway, that's all I wanted to show you on this tab. Let's see. Oh yeah, we have a jargon file. I don't know. This is gonna really, really date my unk status. But when I first got my start in computers, it was not common for every computer to have a modem. Okay. So the computers that I had in my room did not have modems, and I would take floppy disks to my grandmother's computer, which had America Online and a 33 6K BPS modem connected with a parallel port cable. US Robotics. I still remember the dip switches on the underside of it, what each one did. Anyway, I used to download text files from the internet onto my floppy disks and take them to my computer in my room and read them in MS-DOS on like edit.com. Okay, and one of those text files was called the jargon file. And so we are starting our own jargon file. Well, this is where you can find archives of the jargon file, jargon-file.org/archive. But on the GitHub, the same GitHub where the community guidelines are, there's also a jargon file, which will expand as we go, but it includes certain key terms that might be confusing for new people at first, like flock. Flock is a term I made up. It's a portmanteau I borrowed from Morrowind's flaw, which means brother or bro, and added a K at the end for flock. So, yeah, Lunar House, Lunar, Chook. These are all just terms for chicken from different cultures. Abrasics. This is it's kind of a meme magic word. I'm making an initiation ritual that will sort community members into one of 7 great houses, which are based on breeds of chicken and their planetary correspondences. So that's going to be super fun. You just, answer this quiz, and the quiz will be processed by my API. And that's going to post to Discord, and then the mod will give you the role, which will give you access to private channels for other people in your house. And then when we do community events that are of a competitive nature, you can represent your house. Anyway, jargon file. I want to make it so you can just type bang jargon in the chat and get a link to this. And we can do that. Actually, we can do that right now. Since I'm talking about it, might as well. Let's go to Streamlabs, I think. Avert your gaze. I might need to authenticate for a second. Just for a second. Log in here. I don't even know if this is the correct website. Oh, that was the simplest authentication ever. I just clicked on Amber Channel. And I'm in. Okay. You can see now. Widgets? Chatbot. Checkbox. Alert box. This might not be what I'm looking for. Let's try Stream Elements. And once again, you'll have to avert your gaze. Oh wait, as you were, I'm already logged in. As you were. Guys, my headphones just died. Sorry. I'm plugged in now. But yeah. They've been cooperating the past few days, taking a charge, so I'm not mad about it. It's just Murphy's Law. Of course it dies while I'm streaming. Cookies? Why do I always have to accept a goddamn cookie thing? Like, I've been using this forever. Aren't they supposed to give you options of like only necessary cookies? I guess not. That's fucking rude. Anyway, this is retarded. I solved this issue months ago, and it's still saying that the Stream Elements bot is banned from my channel. It's clearly not. It posts every hour on the hour, which is what we're going to right now. Timers. No, no, yes. Every 60 minutes, there's a reminder to stretch and whatnot, and eventually to run an ad break once I record some. Commands, chat commands. So we're just going to add a new chat command. Jargon. And we're going to say the jargon file is hosted on GitHub. Here. That's it. And then activate command. And now if I go and type bang jargon, ta-da. Of course you can't see it on the screen except in the Twitch stream manager that I'm showing you, but it's there. Okay. Actually, hit edit stream info. What else are we gonna do? D20. No, I'll do that later. Schedule. I have not made a schedule for this week. Kind of running by the seat of my pants, and I'm kind of happy about that because we're just vibing. We're gonna be modding Morrowind here in a second because I think I'm done yapping for the moment. Let me close out some tabs. And I might pin this tab. Okay. Mute. And I think we can close this tab. Yeah. Okay. That's cool for now. So yeah, let me unhide OpenMW and we'll get started. We'll pick up the mod where I left it. And the first thing I want to explain to you about making a mod in OpenMW is the file extension. By default, your mod file is going to be saved with a .open or .omw add-on, which is fine, but if you want maximum compatibility with the greater Morrowind modding community, like if you're going to upload this to Nexus, you'll want to rename that file to .esm for Elder Scrolls mod, I think. But while you're developing it, just leave it. Is it way the bottom? Yeah, okay, it is. So I select my add-on, dynamic wanted posters. And that's going to select the two dependencies and then the dependencies of those dependencies as well. You don't have to worry about any of this shit. Okay? Tribunal, Blood Moon, and like TR data, OOAB data. These are very common asset databases. Okay, so we'll open the file. Ta-da! It's open. Now, this is what the screen looks like. Not much to write home about. So let's just make the screen, make it bigger. Oh, maybe we want to cover up chat. Okay. And we're going to add some queries. Basically, we're gonna check. Let's see. What is it we want? This mod is about wanted posters. Okay. There's this cool add-on called Wanted Posters, and it puts posters in the game when you have a bounty. Simple, right? There's another add-on called Broadsheets and Notice Boards, which adds a whole lot to the game, honestly. It takes a lot of little bitty side quests and creates notes for them that you can find hooks, basically, for these quests easily at your local tavern on this quest board, basically. And so my patch mod that glues these two mods together is just to take the bounty, the wanted poster, and put it on the notice boards that are all interior cells, by the way, which makes a difference. And it simplifies the logic so that you don't have these you don't have this continuous script checking whether you have a bounty when you're out in the open world. It only does it on the specific interior cells that contain the wanted poster. So yeah. Let's look for an object. And we're just going to type wanted and then a dot. Oh, actually, I don't need to go any further. AA underscore wanted. This is exactly what I'm looking for. I told you this was easy, right? So this AA here is a naming convention that is common in the Morrowind modding community. It's just like your initials or your signature. This you put that in front of every custom object or anything you're adding to the game, so that when somebody else makes a different mod, if they all follow that naming convention, you don't step on each other's toes. So when I make an object, it'll be abra underscore and then object name. If and when I choose to do that. But as for now, I don't need to. So what I'm going to do is, well, let's just open this up, edit record. Let me show you what it looks like. Now, if you, like me, know old school HTML, this will be very familiar to you. Font, color, face, size, a line. Yeah, this is HTML3, which was contemporary for when the game was released. So it makes sense, right? But yeah, you've got little variables here like PC name, PC race, PC class that are exposed by the game's internal APIs. And so this is a very generic wanted poster that just says, you know, you did something bad and people should fear you and turn you in to the authorities. It doesn't say like what you did. It doesn't even say how much the bounty is, which I think would be probably easy to do. But that's not the scope of what I'm trying to do today. So I'm not going to edit this. What I want to do is find all the instances of it in the world. So we're going to close this out. Actually, what I want to do is go to world instances. Okay. And I'm going to replace ID with object ID. Since we know what the object ID is, the object ID is AA underscore wanted. There. So, now this says added down here. That's because this is my proof of concept mod. I put one of these wanted posters inside a Reels trade house in Saint Denis. So if you fuck around and find out at the beginning of the game and you manage to make it into a Reels trade house without getting arrested, you'll see a wanted poster with your name on it. And you can pick it up and put it in your inventory and take it home with you. You can have that as a keepsake forever. Now, as the game is currently written, as the mod is currently written, once you take that wanted poster down, that's it. It's not going to post another one. So that's one thing I would like to fix. If I haven't done that already. But that will be in a future version of this mod. Okay? Yeah. That probably will require me creating a new object that's not a book, because that's how books behave. You know, you see a book out in the world, you can pick it up and take it home with you, and that book is not on the shelf anymore. And it's never coming back. So what I'll need to make is a static object that walks like a book, that spawns a book in your inventory when you interact with it, and then like hides for a time, and then respawns when you re-enter the cell, basically. So basically all we have to do to finish this mod is go to each of these places and move the wanted poster from where it is currently, and put it on the notice board in the appropriate local inn. Yeah, like this one in Vivek. There's a Black Shark Corner Club, which is probably where the notice board is. One sec. Let's just do one. Let's pick one of them. Like here, Balmora 8 plates. Everybody knows Balmora. Let's close out the object, and we're going to open the world cells. Can I copy this? No. It'd be cool if I could copy the name, but we're just going to say 8 plates. And then, wow, okay. I don't even have to put the dot star at the end. It's right here. Okay, I'll move that over and view. Oh. We're going to make this larger. and drag this over. Okay. Now this is where things start to get interesting. You can kind of drive around here. I'm just scrolling with the scroll wheel. Do you see? Do you see it? This is the notice board. It's right here. Let me see if I remember how to. Is it Control? Alt? Shift? Oh shit. No, Escape? Oh, I think I remember actually. It's a middle click and drag. Yeah. Middle click and drag allows you to rotate the camera angle. So if you look over here at the bar, you see this piece of paper? BK Nereverin Notice. That is not what we're looking for. I thought it was, but no. Let's keep going. Oh, oh, oh. Maybe I'll swim up here and take a look around. What if I click View here? But you get the goal, right? It's very simple. We just want to put the wanted poster right here in the middle of this notice board so that when you are wanted, actually, it's fine. What we can do is just delete this record. Okay. Now, what I need to do is go back to Objects, eh, eh, type in wanted, and I'll show you how easy it is to mod this game. we are just going to drag this, then drop it right there. What? Is it that easy? Yes, Chatta, it is that easy. Now, the trouble really is just figuring out how to fly around and manipulate the object to so that it looks good. Right now we're in camera mode. We want to be in move. Is this right? Move selected instance. Yeah. So now we've selected this. When we let me just read the tooltip. It really tells you how to do it. I think it's right mouse button. Control and right mouse button. All right. So right mouse button, drag, moves it in space, X and Y, and then control right mouse button. What? Okay. Middle click? No. What am I missing? Rotate. This is what I want. I want to rotate it. All right, let's read the tooltip once again. Right mouse button to rotate freely. Control right mouse button to rotate instances within the grid. The center of the view acts as the axis of rotation. Okay. So I'm just going to hold right click. And we're going to maneuver this thing around so that it looks good. Which is kind of hard to do with a piece of paper. But once we get it right, approximately, then we can go back to this other one and pull it out. Yeah, like that. Pull it out of the wall. And then it's okay if these overlap a little bit. And I think it's ideal to put it like right in the middle. I think this is fine. This is pretty damn good actually. Let me just zoom in a little bit and click off. It is clipping a little bit right here. So if I move it like right there, that's not bad. Now we can go back to, actually, this is pretty good. I want to save. I'm just going to save it like that. Okay. And now I'm going to select the rotate action. Right mouse button. And we can just tweak it so that it doesn't clip if possible. There. Yeah, that looks pretty good. I'm satisfied. So yeah. I didn't find where the original one was, but it doesn't matter. We just delete it. And we put it here instead. The other one the first one I didn't have to delete because there wasn't a wanted poster in Satanine originally. So yeah. Now I'm gonna take a little break and have my dinner. Looks like we've been streaming for about an hour, so we'll take a 5, maybe 10-minute break at the most. Probably not. Just long enough to have my dinner and maybe grab a refill on my coffee if needed. But yeah, in a nutshell, that's how easy it is to mod this game. Let me just show you one more thing before we go. This is the edit record. That's the text. Where is the logic? It's a script. That's what it is. Mechanics, scripts. Okay. Want. Fine. AA. Dot. Star. No? Oops. Wanted. There it is. It's just called wanted script. I was starting to make my own script, but I didn't get very far because I was on an older version of OpenMW, and every time I opened the script editor and I typed a few characters, the it would trigger like a compiler, or it would check the syntax, and whatever was doing that was crashing the whole thing. So there's no actual code in this, not yet. But this is to demonstrate the naming convention. This is what I want to show you. This is the whole Lewis script that drives this mod. Okay, it's not that fucking hard to understand. It's just a couple of nested if statements. Okay. Now, that's fine because they're attached to this book. And when the book is in an interior cell, it only runs when you're in those cells. But in the open world cells, like this one right here, I'm pretty sure this script runs all the time in the background, like every second or something. So that's not ideal. So this is more than an immersion mod. This is going to affect the performance as well. Modified? I didn't modify anything. Revert. Yeah, I didn't modify anything. This is what I was talking about. This little checker or whatever. It scans the code and looks for potential errors prematurely. Not prematurely, but before you like compile. Well, it's really a scripted language anyway. So it just parses it. And, this was the part that was really buggy in the old version. But it's working fine now. But yeah, that's all I'm going to show you for now. It just checks your current crime level, and if it's greater or equal to 500 septums or drakes, then it enables this book. The book exists effectively in the world, and if it doesn't, then it doesn't. It disables it, and that's it. It's a very verbose way of writing it in Lua, with all these ifs and end ifs, but that's just how the code is. That's not a fault of the dev. If this were like a Ruby script, it'd be like one line. But I digress. But yeah, that's it for now. We're gonna do a little break. Let me put on a 10-minute break timer and grab a bite to eat and some more coffee, stretch, all that stuff. And this is normally where I would run an ad in order to prevent pre-rolls. So I'll see you in a bit.
dollar banknotes falling. US dollar banknotes. dollar banknotes.
Alright. I'm almost back. I'm just fixing my coffee, and I'll be right back. I can't take my headphones with me this time because the battery is low. But yeah, I'm just waiting on the microwave, and I'll see you in a minute. Alright, I got my coffee. We're gonna switch back over to the Reacts scene and put the background music back on. That's right. I muted the tab. There we go. Not sure if you'll be able to hear it. I might need to refresh the Firefox input. Or turn it up. It's pretty low. Yeah. Okay. Now, this coffee's so hot, it almost burned my tongue. And like, my lip. Whew. I had to walk real slow back to my room so I didn't spill it too. This was filled to the brim. But yeah, I started. I should. I don't know if started is the right word, but when I first got the Morrowind game, one of the first things I did was made myself a mod. I didn't release it to anybody. There wasn't really an online modding community like that as such. Not for Morrowind, anyway. There were a few modded games like Counter-Strike, and which came from Half-Life, I believe. Anyway, I made myself a player house in Balmora, like you do. And at the time, I didn't really know much about programming beyond, web stuff, HTML, CSS, JavaScript. And by JavaScript, at the time, it was like copy and paste JavaScript from these source websites and just tweak it until it looked right, until it did what you wanted. Nothing like JavaScript today, which I think is a fucking abomination. Anyway, so let's do a couple more of these wanted posters, and we'll talk some more about why I made my own script file. Excuse me. Did I mention that a sickness was trying to grab hold of me today? I was hacking and wheezing. Not super bad, but I was producing a good amount of stuff, you know. Enough that I was motivated to hop in the shower to try and purge that stuff. Yes, I do shower from time to time, but I especially needed it today. And I'm still producing stuff. It's not completely gone yet. Now, it doesn't look like it's infected or anything. It's clear. So I'm in the clear. I don't think I'm getting sick. I think I'm rejecting the sickness. My body is pretty well adapted to most bugs after after living in close quarters with people, I should say men, from all over the country for extended periods of time. Think of like a a school-age kid, but on a national scale. Okay. Now, that's one wanted poster down. So in the course of looking into making this, I keep wanting to call it an add-on from World of Warcraft stuff, and also the name OMW add-on. But what I'm trying to say, what I want to say, is that it occurred to me that there's only one bounty for all of Morrowind. And I thought that it would make sense if each region had its own bounty. For example, House Telvanni has much different rules and laws about what is illegal than, say, House Redoran. And so it doesn't really make sense to have a global bounty system. And I thought, well, I thought about Skyrim, right? When you have a bounty in Skyrim, and you go to a different hold, you know, your bounty, it's specific to each hold. It's not like you're gonna get arrested in Mournhold for shit you did in Whiterun. Although Whiterun may send people after your ass. And that kind of got me thinking about how to extend this. And then I found out that there's already a mod for regional bounties. And so I thought, oh, okay. Well, maybe I want regional wanted posters on notice boards. And I'm like, you know, that's way too long of a name. But that's the next evolution of this add-on is going to be to implement wanted posters conditionally if you have a bounty in that region, not necessarily a global bounty. Although it should still work without the regional bounty add-on or mod. So yeah, like if you have it, then great, but it's not a requirement. That's why I want to make my own wanted poster script to do that checking. Like basically get the cell name or get the region name. I think there's a region. Shit. At least the thumb scroll works. Excuse me. Well, anyway, I think that the difficulty will be in mapping the cell name to the region name, and I might just have to make like a little a table or an index to look up which region each cell is in, unless there's an API for that I'm just not aware of. But yeah, and maybe that'll be included in the mod regional bounty, and I could just use that, perhaps. So, yeah, that's kind of where I want to go with it. And I also got to thinking it would be cool if there was a slow career that went from one great house to the other adjacent regions, with a carrying your bounty, carrying a letter informing the government in the next region about your wrongdoings, to give the player an opportunity to take out that courier and intercept the basically make it so that they never find out about you. Whether you, I don't know, managed to pickpocket. I'm not sure if there's pickpocket in this game. I don't think so. Maybe there is. Maybe you just activate somebody while sneaking. But there's not like a pickpocket skill, is there? It probably just uses security. Anyway, but yeah, somehow deal with the courier, and have like an escalating thing where like the courier never makes it back home, then they send out an adventurer on a quest to find out what happened to the courier. Anyway, you can see how naturally an add-on can, or a mod can grow or creep in scope. But for now, I'm going to keep it to the simple, minimum viable product. So yeah, enough yapping. Let's do something. We don't need this window to be so large. Or this one, frankly. And we are done with the 8 plates. So let's go to Aldrin. and view. Ho, 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 ho. It's just that easy. I find you have to resize this shit a lot. I wish it would like remember my preference. But hey, it's a free tool. Can't complain too much. What's going on with my tracking? Seems to have... See, this is why I need a mod. I've been yapping. And my character is just like frozen there ever since break, I guess. Let me troubleshoot this real quick without spilling my coffee, please, and thank you. I've got to plug in this keyboard to my VBridger computer. I told you I sleep in a bed of wires, right? Okay. What would the easiest way to do this be? Let me just change scene real fast to console gaming. It looks like VBridger has lost connection to my phone. Yeah, I wonder why. What's up with that? Is my phone... It's connected to Wi-Fi. It's on the right Wi-Fi network. Let's just turn Wi-Fi off and back on it again. Go back into the app. Hit the... It's already locked. Well, it's working. How about that shit? Okay. Well... Alright, back to Reacts. That was easy. And now... Let's dig in here. Very carefully, without spilling the coffee. Are you excited, Chad? I'm excited. We might push this mod out today. If it goes as smoothly as the last one did. You know? Okay, so we're just driving around here. There's a little arrow that shows where the player zones in at. You use WASD to move around. Looks like you come in here. And then you can either go upstairs. Shit. Upstairs. And I see 2 notes on the bar already. This one looks like what we're interested in. Nope. No Reverend notice. Okay, what about this one? AA wanted. There it is. So that's the poster that we're looking for. And all we gotta do, chat, is delete it. Goodbye. And now, let's go through the floor and check for a notice board. Is there one here? Because if there's not, there should be. No? What about down here? Okay. Then my next guess is it's probably at the Rat in Pot and not the Aldscar Inn. So I suppose since it's an interior cell that we don't need to delete this one. But we should add one at the Rat in Pot. Now, let's go to World, Cells, and type Rat. Dot star. There it is. Aldrin. The Rat in the Pot. I'm just guessing that's where the notice board is. That's where I would put it. Because it's kind of like the Thieves Guild. And the one in Balmora is in the Thieves Guild. Oh, but there's also one in the 8 Plays. It's worth considering. Hang on a sec. I had a big sneeze there. I usually sneeze in pairs, so we'll see if I... All right, we'll cut that part out. Not really. Okay, so we can close out this, drag this over, and now we've got more room to navigate the rat and pot and try to find the notice board. I think I see it. No, that's a bar. Oh wow, I'm getting good at flying around here. Um, is that the Nereverin document? Shit. Oh. Huh. KJS temple announcement. I think KJS is the author of the broadsheets and notice boards. So if that's on the bar, then there must not be one here. Hang on. So what we can do, we'll go over here to wanted, and we'll just type kjs.star. Broadsheet. Okay. So let's try this. Broadsheet 01. KJS underscore broad sheet underscore 01. What? Oh, I'm missing a T right here. Okay, that's at the 8 plates. That's at the Winged Quar in Mournhold. Wow, okay, let's try 02. The South Wall Corner Club in Balmora. 03, 04, 05. Pelagia 06. Caldera Sedanine 07. Pelagia 8. Caldera 9. Ebonheart 10. 10. Caldera Dagenfell. Huh. underscore quest. Dot star. Let's say to me. Do they not have one in Aldrin? And if not, why? Let's try this Bellman. KJST. Ah, Aldrin Council Club. Let's view it. Table announcement. Oh, right. Because it does start with KJ's underscore T, doesn't it? It's not K sensitive. So, is that all there is? Let's say T underscore news. No, they don't have one in Aldrin. Well, that sucks. I don't want to expand the scope of this into making a whole nother notice board, but I might need to. Okay. So I might take some notes here. Um, hmm. Just KJS underscore and find everything that's an Aldrin. Council Club, Redoran, Rat in the Pot. Is it just this temple announcement? Because I don't know if that's ideal. Let's see what this is. KJS temple announcement. All right. Proclamation of the Tribunal Temple. The god Vivek has made a rare public appearance before his most faithful subjects at his palace in his holy city. That seems to be a typo. Either we remove the redundant his or the at the palace or at his palace. But that's not what I'm trying to do. We can do that. At the palace in his holy city. Before his most faithful subjects at his palace in his holy city. I'm not sure which way would be better. Maybe that's too many hises. At the palace in his holy city. He has proclaimed the following three truths to all Morrowind and to all the world, and we, his diligent and faithful servants, must strive to make manifest these truths on Nerd. Okay. I ain't reading all that. Now, I probably will, but I ask myself, does this need to be in 3 locations? I don't know. We certainly don't want 3 notice boards. But Balmora's got 2. It's just, it's a bigger city, isn't it? Yeah, it's a much bigger city. I don't know. I'm gonna revert this. I'm gonna revert this. I said revert. Huh. Okay. Maybe, put an underscore here. Why does it still say modified if I revert it? How about delete, revert? Huh. I don't know. What I can do, since I already saved, is just close and reopen. No, I don't want to modify. I don't want to save my changes. I want to. Hmm, hmm, open. Open. Okay. So, why don't we go back to a Reels trade house? AR, R, ARI. AR. What? Seda. Oh, I need to put a dot star at the end. AR dot star. R I E A R I E L L E. I think that's how you spell a reel. Ha! There it is. view. So here is a Reals Treehouse. I'm pretty sure we want the second floor. Yes. Now it's hard to see, so let's turn the sun on. Okay. Here's your notice board. And if you click on it, it says furniture common room table 04. That is the notice board. And if we spin, you can see clearly that it is a table sticking through the wall, turned on its side. That is the whole asset is just a reused table, which is great because it already has the property of, you can set pieces of paper down on it. Like the game's already coded for that. So this is what we're going to do. I'm going to open TextMate here, a new file, just write a little note. You can't see this. Screen capture. Let's see, do I have one for TextMate already? I do. Okay. Now, where is it? I don't actually see the window. So let's change it to something else for a second, and then back to TextMate. There we go. Okay. That's kind of distracting. Let's get that. And we'll move it down below OpenMW. I'm just going to take a little note here. what this object name is fern underscore com underscore rm underscore something 01, I think. There. What's it say? Fern com room table 04. Okay. Now we're done in Sata Need. Let's go to rat in the pot. And let's look at objects. No, fine. Dot star. Okay, so there are a few tables we can look at. Let's edit. That's not very fun. It just points at a file name. So I think it should probably be upstairs. And you should see it right when you come in. And this spot right here looks pretty good. I'm not sure. Is this like a cabinet or something? Let's turn the sun on. Oh. What is that? Is that an oven? I don't know. Maybe there's room over here. Or over here, but like it's kind of curved. Still, it would catch your eye. And then we could just move this from here over there. Or delete it. But probably just move it. Okay, now let's spin around. Okay, cool. So there's nothing on the other side of this wall, which makes it an ideal candidate for sticking a table through the wall. Let's just drag this out like so, and pick the move tool, right mouse button to move it around. See, middle mouse still moves the camera. I think control, right mouse. That's not doing anything. How about this one? No. Command? No. That's snapping it to grid. Okay, well, whatever. What we really want to do is rotate this. About like that. And then move it up, 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 up. Right about there. Let's zoom in a bit. And then check the rotate tool. Just make some fine adjustments here. That looks pretty good. It kind of looks like it's straight on. Let me turn my camera around. I can't tell if it's flush or level. I suppose that's less important, as long as it looks good. But I feel like it should contact the wall instead of looking like a TV that's mounted on the wall. Does it look crooked? I don't know. Oh shit. So holding shift changes the scale. I can't get like half a step. Whatever. Um, I'm gonna save. And then we'll try and make one side connect with the wall. No. This really doesn't maneuver the way I think it should. I've just got this retarded technique for wobbling it into position until it kind of looks good. How about that? How about that? Now let's take a peek here. That looks damn close to the wall. How about the other side? Oh yeah, it touches right there. Holy crap. And it kind of appears to run. It's hard to tell because it's an angled, it's a curved wall. But I do think that that is straight, or as straight as we're gonna get. So now what I'm going to do is take our lovely little KJS temple announcement, and we're going to move it. But first, I'm going to save the game. And now, we're going to move this with the right mouse button over here. Huh? What the hell? Moving stuff in 3D space is weird. How about control? I don't understand how I moved it from the top of the bar to way the fuck up in the air. Doesn't make any sense to me. Let's just, maybe it's just going off of the center of my screen. It's all like relative to the perspective. Okay, at this point, I want to rotate it and stick it on the board. Why are there two of them? It looks like there's two of them. Are there two of them? Oh my god, there are two of them. How did I grab two objects? Alright, whatever. We're gonna put it right there. Basically, right there. Oh yeah, look, it's fucking floating in midair. Stick it to the board, please, and thank you. But don't clip. We'll deal with the irreverent document in a minute. Maybe we'll partially clip for the moment and then rotate it so that it's not clipping anymore. That's pretty good. Can I make it straight? Okay. Now, if I look at it from the side, does it look like it's on there? It's hard to move in such a fine tuned way. I'm just kind of jumping around with A and D there. Yeah, that looks good. Now it's time for this one. The irreverent notice. Hmm. Now let's push it back so that it touches, makes contact with the board. Not, I don't, oh my god. Maybe I gotta change my camera angle this way. There. Okay. Now I move it over here. Okay. That's not bad. Let's take a look at it from the side. It does look like it is indeed making contact with the wood, which is what we want. At least 3 corners, you know. Yeah, you see this corner is, it's folded up a little bit off the table, and that's okay. That gives some depth to the one-dimensional piece of paper. Now, let's try to rotate it. How do I select none? Now, maybe we can move it a little bit. There. Now there's room for a wanted poster. Right in the middle. No? Yes. Let's rotate it. I don't know why this works. By making counterclockwise circles, I can rotate this object. Okay. That's pretty good. What? Is that just a visual glitch? Visual glitch. Why is it clipping like that? Let me click something else. Yeah. In fact, it seems like it's... I don't know. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine by me. You could maybe center it a bit better. And then move this one to the right. So let me see what is eye level on this Dunmer. Yeah, okay. So we just made our own custom notice board. I'm going to save this. Now, instead of those notes appearing on the table here, they're going to appear on the notice board at the appropriate time in the main quest. Okay. Is it really a centurion spider here? Huh. So yeah. Now, when you come in to the rat in the pond, yeah, you can even see it from the entrance. I think that is pretty eye-catching. Cool. Now, let's see. View. I want to see instances. Where the object ID is called AA underscore wanted. Now there's a wanted poster in Altarin at the Allscar Inn. I ask myself, do I want to keep that there? Do I want to add more notice boards? think the Alt Scar Inn also has the Temple Notice and then a Reverend Notice. I think most of the bars in the game have that. So do they each deserve their own notice board? Maybe. It'll take a little bit more work on my part to put that in, but I think it'll ultimately be more engaging for the player than noticing a piece of paper on the bar. But let's see. How hard would that be? I'll click View. Fine, fine, fine. I think it's the same floor plan, actually. So we could put it in the same place, even. Right over here. There's the wanted poster. There's the Reverend Notice. I think it would make sense for each establishment to maintain their own notice board. Oh, look at this. I like how they put bottles on this little shelf. The other bar, it was just empty. I don't need to see this path grid. So what we would do, Grab another object. Ugh. This is kind of shitty. I am kind of annoyed at the way these different windows continuously move around. Um, we know exactly what the idea is. It's Fern. Fuck, I'll just copy it. Copy. And paste. Click and drag. And now, I don't need that anymore. Okay. And rotate. Let's rotate the board. Okay. Now let's push it back. Mm-hmm. Okay. And then rotate once again. Straight on. Hmm. Now, can we pull it out or down? Oh no. Let's put the music back on. No. I like having it centered on this line. About like that. Look off. Okay. Yeah, that's good. That's real good. Okay. And save. And we'll grab this wanted poster. Something like that. Now we'll move it closer anyway. And rotate. Move. Pull it out. Let's turn some light on in here. Yeah. Damn. I'm working in the dark this whole time. It's crazy. Alright. That's pretty good. There. Now, let me grab this Reverend Notice. It's weird to me how the movement is just relative to the camera angle. So if I go down here and I look up at it, then I can move it down. If I turn to the side, move it down, and then can I pull it? No. If I go to the side though, like this, then I should be able to move it through the wall. Yeah. It's so bizarre. Now, I can rotate. I might need a better camera angle for that. Something like that. Try to straighten it up a little bit. Yeah. Okay. Now we got a wanted poster, an irreverent notice, no temple notice, but there's room on the board for something else. I think it's cool to have a little place for any other mod authors to add their own quest hook right here. You know, if you want to put the rod of 7 parts in here and direct the player to find the first piece based off of some obscure hint, you can just tack that note right onto the corner of the board or something. Some kind of treasure map, anything. Sky's the limit. Now, I do want to put the wanted poster dead center. And it appears to be upside down, doesn't it? Upside down and backwards. The fuck? Okay. And now we get a little side perspective and try to tack it to the board. Okay. Oh yeah. That's not stuck on straight at all. Okay. There. Now if I go to the other side. That's fine. Shit. Why is it behaving this way? Can I Control Z? I can. Okay. Oh. Redo move. I see him in the wood. Okay. And save. So that's altering done. Um, what about Balmora? Uh, the south wall, corner club. There should be a wanted poster in there. So if I go to objects, wanted. And we can close this out. We're done with Aldrin. I'm going to go to World Cells. South Wall. Pelagia. Western Guard Tower. South. Oh, I see. South Wall. Corner Club. View. Let's turn some light on, yeah? Okay. Here it is. Here it is. So they use a different table here. It's a little bit more warped, okay? Which is fine. Yeah. See, I would like to add a couple of these KJS broadsheets and Bellman articles, but I don't know which ones would be suitable for Aldrin. But if I add those, it'll definitely look a lot cooler than the way I put them up there, like evenly spaced and perfectly aligned, like a real person. Like this one here is perfect. It's just like tacked on there, hanging off the edge, all at an angle. But anyway, I don't believe there is a wanted poster for this cell. So let's drop one in, like right here. Rotate it. Flip it over. Okay. We're getting somewhere, I think. That's pretty good. Let's go back to move tool and pull it out or down. Need to get a better camera angle and get this past shit out of this. I don't need to see that. Okay, that's better. Now we can clearly see what the issue is. That's better. And change the angle. No, that's good. Now move back and touch. And rotate. I want this corner to be covering up. Okay. Now back to move. And just where it stops clipping. Boom. Now let's take a look from the side. If we can. We can even zoom in that close. Oh yeah, that's super close. That's good. We nailed it there, chat. I'm gonna save. So it looks like there's just Caldera, Ebonheart, Vivek, Mournhold, and a couple of these outdoor ones to do. But made some real progress on this mod. I think I'm gonna call it for now. The coffee is it's not doing me a lot of favors. You know what? Yeah, maybe it's the illness I'm still fighting off, but I feel kind of achy. Maybe it's the music too. A little bit shorter stream today, but I wanted to show you how to make something cool. And now you too can mod Morrowind without any programming language whatsoever, um, and you know add something awesome that's your own idea to this immersive world and make it just a little bit cooler. But don't overdo it. Don't bite off more than you can chew, you know? Um, but yeah, we'll do this again soon. I I typically do Morrowind on Wednesdays and Saturdays. So you can look forward to another. I don't know if I want to stream the rest of this or not. Um, Maybe I will. I don't know. I don't want it to be too redundant because it's just like, okay, I put up a table, I put up some notes, and how many times do you need to see that? I don't know. But if I think of it like co-working or whatever, I'm building this mod and letting you watch, and it's a good example of how you can make your own mod. So I don't know. We'll see what the reception's like. If you like this content, please do be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what you think. Uh, what I could do differently, and maybe if we get like 20 subscriptions on YouTube off this video, then I'll do a follow-up video teaching you just enough Lua code to be dangerous. But yeah, that's it for now. I want to thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next video or next stream if you're on Twitch. Bye for now.